Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me in Chair Yoga. We are on week 7 of our 8 limbs of yoga study. And this week we are into pranayama. Pranayama is the breath awareness, the study of that. And it's a big component in the practice of yoga. Sometimes people call it breath awareness, breath control, breath manipulation. It is the way that we connect our mind body by way of the breath, and that connection of mind to body is just a huge shift in our awareness of ourselves as human beings, spiritual beings, that we come into that awareness, mind and body, by way of the breath, is what yoga tradition has shown us. So we'll use some of the breath practices that you're familiar with. I'll introduce a new one today. And I think we do a good job in this class with using a variety of breath practices so that we can really interrupt that disconnect between the mind and body. That's what I guess I think has been most beneficial to me, just like in everyday use, is that when my mind is spinning out and it's just on this repeated, track, and it's not good, it's frustrating, and it's bringing me down. That I got to do something sort of dramatic to change that. And so the breath, I say, how do you change your thinking? They say, that's how how can you possibly change your thinking? My answer to that is change your breath. Do something that's going to change how you're breathing. This shallow breath that we maybe often find ourselves in is not very beneficial to having some sort of focused mind. So just bringing ourselves back to those 4 main intentions of yoga, the 4 promises of yoga, if you will, is that when we do this practice, we are, allowing ourselves to and welcoming within our body, mind, and spirit this vibrant and healthy body, this focused and alert mind, this kind and compassionate heart, and then a sense of lightness of being, this ease. So the breath is a big player in those intentions. So let's get started. We're going to have a block between our thighs, and we'll begin. Come forward on your chair even a little bit more, just a little bit more than you might normally do, and then bring that block in between your thighs so you feel very stable with your legs. And sit up tall, pull in the belly so you start to feel more purposeful about how you're sitting here. Let's take a deep breath in, and as we do so, we're lifting the arms up. And as we exhale, we'll bring them back. So just moving the arms with the flow of the breath in and the flow of the breath out. There is a lot of work in yoga with what they call vinyasa, connecting breath to movement. Again, we do that. This is all part of our practice here in Chair Yoga as well. So today, I guess I'm just bringing, putting a highlight on that, shining a light onto that, so you're aware of what we do and its benefit. So inhale up. This time, exhale wide. And the inhale will be wider, and then we exhale, we close it, we pull the belly in. It's like doing our cow and our cat. So find movement of the spine here. Inhale is wide and broad. Exhale is rounding the back body. Just manage the weight of your head. So your neck is happy as you're doing this. You're just aware that there's some movement, gentle movements of the head. Back to the up and down movement. Inhale is up. Exhale goes way down and back. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up and hold. Just reach up, palms facing forward. Just breathe in and breathe out. Let your shoulder blades drop down. So you're not scrunching up and squeezing in towards your ears. You're letting that whole shoulder girdle drop down. And bringing hands right here to the very top of your shoulders, that very top, and just fingers forward, thumbs back. This is a Kundalini practice. Most of the time, folks, I mirror you. So today I'm not, at this particular juncture, I'm not going to mirror you because the breath practice is specific that the inhale comes with the turn to the left and the exhale is the turn to the right. So it's movement like this. And it is done entirely through the nostrils. Inhale through your nostril, exhale through the nostril, inhale left, exhale right. So again, I'll look like I'm doing it different, but we're doing it the same. Inhale left, exhale right. Just find your rhythm like that. How much you turn your head is up to you. Letting your arms swing you into the twist. So it's shortening your breath, I'm going to bet. And I'm timing it. So I've got my eye on the clock. Keep your elbows elevated to shoulder height or armpit height. It's an inhale and an exhale right away. You turn with that. Kundalini breath practice. That was 30 seconds. That's pretty good. Let's come back to center. Just do some circles with those elbows. Lift up and hold and see if you can just try to stretch your fingertips back, back, back. You're trying to touch your shoulder blades back there. So just work it. Maybe one arm at a time is better. What if you decide, well, I'm going to work this side and just try to touch lower down into my shoulder blades, or you can just alternate, that kind of thing. If you can do both of them, great. Keep your head elevated. You know, you're trying to keep the crown of your head right over the base of your spine. Until you can't go anymore. You've reached a stop sign. That's it. You have pushed your fingers as far back as they're going to go. We're going to breathe right here. You feel like you got a little frame around your head. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Lift up through your elbows. Breathe as though you're going from point to point. So the breath is focused in this part of your arm, both sides. That's another breath work that is commonly used. It's very meditative. It's very much way of controlling or focusing the breath, is that you're directing the breath in your body to certain points, from point to point. Stay with it. Get taller. Feel your feet. Squeeze that block a little bit so you feel like your legs are engaged to help you do what you're doing. Exhale it completely out. And then grab hold of your elbow. So again, here's that frame. And this time we're going to tick-tock. I just want you to go from side to side. This frame of your upper arms around your head is really helpful for the neck to stay in alignment. It's very protective. Now you have to manage how your bottom might be sliding around on that chair. So you're trying to feel that firm foundation, connecting those sit bones, the bony prominence of your pelvis into that chair. So sure, your head can turn a little bit, just what feels natural to you. Let's do a few more. When we come back to neutral, let's take a big breath in and bring palms together up there. Exhale, hands to our heart. We bow into ourselves. Inhale up. Exhale, go wide open. Let's go back to that breath of wide open. And exhale as you round the back body into that into that cat-like posture. Big expansion and extension of the spine, followed by the round flexion of the spine. Inhale is the big one. Exhale is the closed down space. Inhaling, opening, expanding. Exhaling, rounding down. We're going to meet right there. Hold it. Pull the belly way in. It's like you want to bring your belly button into your spine. Find the breath that just suits you. You're just noticing your breath because your breath is there and you're just aware of it. And then we're going to bring ourselves into a forward fold, letting your upper body lay down. I'm going to say lose the block so that you can lay yourself into your thighs. Look down and underneath yourself. Now look down, let your head be heavy. Let the weight of your head be released into this posture. keep your eyes open and just notice how you're breathing here. Maybe you're into the belly breathing, which I would encourage so that you can get benefit for your internal organs by all that movement that's going on, that interaction of your belly with your thighs, good for your internal organs, gets more oxygen, more blood flow there. Remember to exhale completely. Surrender the weight of your head. Let's jump our hands to our thighs, squeeze those elbows into your waist and lift up halfway. I'm going to turn. You don't need to do anything different. I want you to see a side view in case you need it. You got your diagonal position of your spine now, lifting your back of your head, neck, and spine into alignment. Maybe pull your chin in towards your throat. Pull the belly in. And imagine the block is between your thighs. It isn't, but you can imagine that and engage your legs just as well. Now extend your arms away from you, so that you can, maybe you're scooting your feet under you a little bit, so that you are able to lift and hover yourself right up off that chair. I want you to practice that a couple times. Reach away from you, lift yourself up away from the chair. Now, if that's not available to you, you can just keep your bottom on the chair and extend and then push your feet into the floor. You're going to still get a lot of benefit for your thigh muscles. If you're able to lift and hover above, let's do that. When you're ready, I want you to hold one of those. Hold it up. Maybe bringing your hands now to the prayer position. Breathe in and breathe out. Make sure the back of your head, neck, and spine feel in alignment to you. It all feels in alignment. Get a lot of your body weight into your heels, but not entirely. Your whole surface of your feet. Okay, let's sit all the way back to the chair. I'll come back to center. We come back to our mountain pose. That's, of course, just our basic seated pose. Palms face forward. Catch up with your breath. Let your breath settle back into a rhythmic breath for you. Let your breath be through your nose, out of your mouth, whatever you need it to be. Inhale up. Exhale heart. We bow into ourselves. Inhale back up and exhale, go round. Let's get the legs moving now. So again, if you need to resituate yourself on the chair so that your legs are able to move easily, do that. So it's big high knees coming up while your back body is in a nice strong position like the mountain. Go wider with that. Step wide, wide, wide. And then come back to center. And then both feet to the floor. Lay your ankle across your thigh. I want you to just start working out your foot. Just give it a little massage. Just kind of spread the toes apart. Move the ball of the foot around and just feel some loosening up there because of your hands there, kind of giving yourself that gentle massage. Let's do the same sort of manipulation into that thigh and knee, a little tender loving care here. And then I want you to simply slip that off and let your hands hold on to your thigh. From here, then you can start spinning your foot around. So you've got your foot off the floor and you're holding up the weight of your leg. Your arms are engaged so much that you're holding up the weight of your leg, and it gives you an opportunity to start working the joint of your ankle. So you're moving around, spreading toes. Now let's create a little tug of war. As you extend your leg out, push your femur bone, that's the thigh bone, right into your hands, like your arms are trying to pull your leg up higher, but your leg is not going to have it. Your leg is pushing right back. So you feel like your arms are super engaged as well as your leg muscles. So a little tug of war is going on here. That femur bone is pushing into your hands and you're pulling back. You're trying to fight back. Breathe in and breathe out. Soften your face. Push through the sole of your feet, mainly your heel. Feel that tug of war, that real super engagement of the leg and the arms. Excellent. Let's bend the knee and hug that into the chest. And we're going to just cross that leg. Take a big breath in and kind of center yourself. Make sure you feel like your bottom is well supported and you can bind yourself together into this, midline. We're going to crisscross our arms. So top leg tells you which arm is under. And then you just wrap them around. This is for crunching. This is for abdominal work. I'm going to give you a side view just for the heck of it. I often do this just face to face, but you don't have to move. I just want you to see it from a different angle if you need to. So we've got our arms. This is that eagle posture, by the way. So we lift up those elbows and we bend ourselves into it. But I want you to really fold deeply into that. Lift up as high as you can with those elbows and fold forward. And then I want you to find the breath that suits you. So you're just going to notice when I do an inhale, where's a good place to inhale? I'm going to inhale here, this opening, and exhale as I close down. But you can play with that and see what seems to suit you. And then stick with it. Or be aware that you're trading off and just being, curious about it. Be mindful about your breath as you crunch. I'm trying to encourage a little back bend here. So I'm lifting a little higher. Head goes back. Make sure your neck is agreeable to that. Couple more. All in this bound position. It's like the midline energy is giving us all the support we need. Lift up and hold. Breathe in and breathe out. And then neutralize. Just start bringing yourself back to a neutral position. And we'll uncross the legs and come back into our walking, our high knees up. And wide. Now I got to move. Got too far back in the chair. High knees. And let's come back. We're going to do the other leg now. Lifting up and laying the ankle onto the thigh. Make sure your standing leg is in a good position. So start with massaging. I give you some ideas about ways that you can bring your hands to your body here and start to soften any resistance. But there might be other ways that you have learned your body, your practice. Don't forget your knee. Because, this lateral bend of the knee is a little different invitation than what it normally has during daily activity. And then simply going to slip our hands underneath that thigh and release the weight of it. Then we can start moving the foot around. So we're back to joints, but you're heavy. Your leg is heavy into your arms. Try just swinging it to just test it out to see how much you've released the weight of your leg into your arms, into your hands. Okay, let's do that tug of war now. We're going to straighten that leg out. So this thigh bone is pushing down into your hands. You're just tug of war here. The leg is really engaged, trying to push down toward the floor, and you're trying to pull the leg up. So you feel that tug of war push through the sole of your foot. Breathe in, breathe out. This might be that Ujjayi breath, that throaty breath, powerful breath. And feel the breath in your body. Feel how it supports what you're doing. We're going to hug that knee into the chest, just pull it in and cross over. Resituate yourself so you feel well supported. Both sides of your hips and buttocks feel like they got a lot of support from the chair. That top leg is the lower arm. And we cross over and then we intertwine them. So I know that many of you know this, but in case you are kind of lost here and you can't wrap your arms around like that, it's just simply bringing forearms together and elbows together will do the trick. So this is just a little bit more complicated, a little more efforting involved if we bind them together. So it's a lift high. I'm going to say inhale here and exhale as you fold yourself deeply in, more so than maybe you're thinking is normal. If you're just folding way in and coming way out. Full breath comes in and lifts you up. Exhale will be pulling your belly in and rounding through the back body. Follow your breath all the way through the inhale and through the exhale. Following means, paying attention to it, noticing it. I've listened to some guided meditation that's out there, and they'll often, now what's very popular is to say, I breathe in, I am aware I am breathing in. I breathe out, I am aware that I'm breathing out. So there's bringing lots of awareness to that full breath cycle. We're going to lift and hold, kind of come into a back bend, lift up. If your neck's agreeable, let your chin lift a bit. Elbows are high. Good, and then we're going to start disentangling, start coming back to a neutral position and get both feet back to the floor. Let's try a wide angle, and hands are coming back here. So the last time we did this movement, we had ourselves sort of bound to the center. We're going to try a little more expansive view. This is where, again, you might need your Kleenex. It's an inhale to the right and an exhale to the left. It's all done through the nose if you can. Inhale and exhale, and I'm timing us. We're going to see if we can do 30 seconds of this. So just get moving. Short little breaths, all done through the nose. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. You're more than halfway through. And that's it. Come back to center. Let's draw those circles. Lift up, see if you can reach back and touch your shoulder blades. Keep walking your fingers down until you find that there's no more movement available. You've got the elbows lifted, and that's as far as it goes. Let's hold it there. You feel the frame of your upper arms around your head. Lift those elbows. Find the connection of your breath from point to point. If you're breathing right there in your body, point to point. Inhale. And you can lengthen that. You just stay put, but this is the flow of the breath, point to point in the body. More focused mind. Again, we're going to grab hold of the elbows, go side to side. Feels different for me. It's like the balance component that's necessary when you got your legs together. That's taken right out of the picture here. More freedom of movement. And come back to center. Let's take a big breath, like a backstroke in the pool, and exhale it all the way down. Inhaling up. Exhale, go way behind you as much as you can. You don't have to find my pace. You're finding your own pace. We're going to meet with those arms extended like a T, with the thumbs pointing back and the palms wide open. Spread your hands apart. Your fingers are wide spread. Feel your feet now. Really push your feet into the floor. Let's make a cactus arm. Let's try some side to side movements. Keep those elbows lifted. Just a gentle flow here. You're not trying to do anything. You're just exploring movement. Keep your legs drawn open. Sometimes they'll start to fold toward the center. Your knees will just sort of cave in. So keep your legs engaged. And then when we come back to center, I want you to touch hold of those shoulders again for these side abdominal stretches, toning, I should say, abdominal toning on the obliques. So as low as you can go. Keep at it. I'm going to start turning myself to get a side view available, but you keep at it. Same thing. Good. When you come back to center, release your arms and let's bring the legs back in to hips distance apart. I want you to come forward on your chair. You're facing forward. I'm just giving you a side view, but you're coming forward enough that your legs are kind of really coming away from the chair seat. You're bringing a lot of the leg forward here. But I want your feet to tuck under arms because we're going to come back into that chair, that Uttanasana. So extending your arms out, reach, 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 and then hover your bottom up off the chair seat again. I want you to just come and go, come into that and then release it. Noticing how your legs are holding you, shifting your weight accordingly. There should be no pressure in your knees. If this is hurting your knees, don't do it. Just skip it because it shouldn't have to hurt your knees. Can you lift and hold and prayer hands? This time we're going to twist, bringing elbow to the other side, onto your other thigh. So elbow, so opposite elbow touches the other thigh. And you come back to center and you're going to do the other twist, elbow to thigh. That top elbow is up high. Find your exhale completely. Come back to center. Let's get ourselves back to the chair. Back to a neutral position. Maybe hands come alongside the chair frame. You're catching up with your breath. Inhale up. And this time, as we come down, we're pulling back. I'm going to add something here on this inhale. You know that O shape with your mouth that I've been introducing you to? You're going to take an inhale through your mouth in that O shape. And the inhale, as we lift our arms up, is like we're trying to pull the perineum, the floor of the pelvis, right up into the body. We're trying to just let that inhale like a vacuum hose pulling us up. And that inhale comes through the mouth and then it's a sigh out. You just let that breath release as a sigh. So here it comes. Inhale up, perineum lifts, sigh it out, mouth softens. Inhale, you form that O, suck the breath in through your mouth, pull up through the perineum and soften as you sigh it out. Two more. Sigh it out. Again, if this is not your pace, I just want you to adjust it right now. Just find a pace that works for you. Sigh it out. Excellent. Let's do some shoulder rolls. Let's make sure the shoulder blades are releasing and relaxing out of their sticky habits. Try one shoulder at a time. Do just your right shoulder several times. Do just your left shoulder. I think that's going to prepare us for a twist. So we're coming up, inhale up. Exhale, prayers in that prayer position. Inhale up. Exhale towards your right. So we're getting that right shoulder to pull back. I think it's loosened up. See if you can sit on your hand or in some way pin that hand back there. So it really helps you pin your shoulder. Other hand is either just laying across your thigh or maybe you're able to grab hold of some part of the chair. Now lift your spine into a vertical position. You don't want to be lounging or leaning to one side or another. You're placing yourself in a very vertical position with the spine and you're revolving your body around that spine. Include your head and neck, but be very mindful. And deep breaths are going to really help you twist deeply. deep breaths. You can always reset. You can start over, do it again. All good. When we unwind, it's just the head. One more full breath here. Then we unwind the shoulders. Inhale up. Exhale, heart. Up. Twist the other way. And if your shoulders still need some work, you can always just give that individual attention to pulling that left shoulder back, pin it back. Start working your twist. It always starts low. It works its way up, not the other way around. You can come and go. You can come into it, figure it out, go back and start over. Just find your breath. Full breath in and out is a big help. Always is. Complete that exhale. Unwind the head and then the shoulders. We're back to our neutral position. Let's scoot our feet underneath the chair and come up to standing. So practice that a few times. I'm going to ask you to just go for that. Practice it. I'm going to set myself up. Practice standing up and out of the chair. At least 3, maybe 4 of those. When you're ready, come into a mountain pose. Just stand right up, palms face forward. Make sure your feet are in a parallel position. And then I want you to close your eyes down when you feel comfortable with that. You can feel the back of the chair, I hope, right close to you. So you've got that support, that little safety net. Don't lock your knees. So just go right to the knees and soften that a little bit so you're not locking in. But feel instead your surface of your feet, like the whole surface, the inside of the ball mound of the big toes. So both of those. And then you're spreading that wide into the pinky edge of your foot in the front. And you go back to that outer heel and inner heel. So you've kind of covered the 4 corners of the feet and all of the surface that connects you. Palms face forward. Remember how that just directs our shoulder blades back. I want you to lift your chest bone up and stabilize your low back. What would that be? Stabilize your low back. Pull the belly button in, maybe drop your tailbone down. So you feel very stable in that lumbar region. It's not strained at all. Feels natural. Full breath in and out. Keep your eyes closed and watch your breath. Watch your breath from the inside out. Notice if you're breathing out of your mouth sometimes, nose, just curious. Give it a full breath in. Try to direct it into a longer, deeper breath. And remember, the secret is so awesome. Bringing your awareness to your breath almost always lengthens it or deepens it. Just by bringing your awareness to it. Find the connecting points. The connecting points are the crown of your head to the surface of your feet. Breathe to connect those 2 points. Inhale, maybe drawing your breath up through the body. It's an ascension of the breath as you inhale. It's a descension of the breath, going down to the floor as you exhale. Try that. It's a big, long breath. It's got to cover the whole length of your body. 2 connecting points. Feet to crown of the head. Ascending for the inhale, descending for the exhale. Focused mind. Soft knees. Finish that next exhale all the way, and we'll flutter the eyes open. We're going to turn to the chair. So if you need to set yourself up so that you can get the back side of the chair, maybe you just come around so that we've got the back of the chair facing us. I want you to stretch out into the L shape. Start with some squats. Get your feet a little further apart than hips distance, a little wider stance, and start bending the knees and then straightening them. I want your arms to surround your head. So you feel like your spine and your neck has got a lot of support here as you do your little squats to stretch out those hamstrings. Warm them up a little bit. Feel the calves stretching, the heels. Let's hold one of those squats, kind of, doesn't this look familiar? This is a lot like what you did in that chair position when we hovered ourselves above the chair seat. Looks a lot like this. Then straighten out into that L shape. This is an extended forward fold. Remember how your arms are kind of crowding in around your ears. This time you can lock the knees. In other words, you're straightening through the back of the knees. You're going to work on that. See if you can stretch those hamstrings a little bit more, stretch the calves a little bit more. Feel the whole surface of your feet. Play with if your feet could go back a little further. See if maybe you've always stepped a little too close to the chair, you know, and then you think, well, I don't know, maybe I could lengthen a little bit if I just step back a little. I want you to get your awareness into your ankles, the outer ankles, like you're dragging those outer ankles to the floor. And notice how that feels in your legs. Full breath in, full breath out. We're going to start walking toward the chair. Come all the way up. We're going to do a warrior two, and that is a wide open stance. So you're going to have your feet wide open and your toes are pointing the same direction. For now, just find this wide stance. I put the chair here because it gives me some support. I mean, and I thought you might need that, but I think maybe I'll move it so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. If I need the chair, I can always go grab it. So no problem if you've got your chair right in front of you. I wanted you to see the structure of this. We've done it a lot of times. Turn your foot so it's pointing, the toes are pointing in that direction. This foot stays the same, still pointing here. This one you just lifted up your toes and rotated that foot, and then that allows you to bend your knee right in this direction. Let's bring our hands to our hips, or you can hold on to the chair, but hands to the hips will be a sort of grounding experience. So the way that you can modify this is how far apart you bring your legs. You don't have to do a thing. You stay with your pulsing. I'm just giving you some ideas. You could not step your feet so far apart. That would be a modification. You could not bend your knee so much. That would be a modification. So ways that you can just tailor this to your particular body and the needs that you need today, that you have today. Let's hold that bent knee position and then grow another root, because our feet are rooting us. We can feel that. I want you to grow the tailbone root right down to the floor, right below that midline energy source. And extend your arms away from the chair if you can. Palms face down. Full breath in and out. Lift your chest bone. I want you to turn to look at your hand, that front hand, turn and turn the palm up, lift up to the ceiling. And the other hand has just rested on the thigh. This is an opportunity to deepen or can continue to express this pose a little deeper by allowing more bend of the knee, maybe more back bend or less, however you need to modify. Let's find the breath in and out. In, all the way, and out. We're coming back to the warrior position. Hands come to the waist, straight leg, your warrior. Turn that foot back to neutral. Take a pause. Catch up with your breathing. Nice and strong. Shoulders are back. Then we're going to go to the other side. Rotate this foot. So this foot now is pointing just like it was in its neutral posture. Now we've rotated this foot out. This is where we get to bend that knee. Remember, you could modify it by shortening the stance, not so far apart between your feet, and not bending your knee as much as you see me do, or you're thinking maybe you should, that you got some idea of the way this is supposed to look, but it doesn't really feel that great in your body. So modify it with how much or little you bend the knee and the width of your stance. We're going to hold it in the bent knee position. I just had to move my heel out just to let you know that when I came into the depth of that, I needed different support over here. So my heel just flipped out a little bit, just so you know, a little modification I needed to do. Grounding here, arms extend, turn to look at your hand and then flip it up. So the palm is up. One hand is coming to the thigh, the other hand is reaching to the sky. You can deepen it or not. You're finding your breath all the way in and all the way out. You might be using your chair here. One arm is up and the other one's got a hand on the chair. Perfectly fine. Exhale completely. Let's come back to our pose. And then we're gonna straight leg that warrior. I want you to just sort of heel toe or bring yourself back to center. And this time we're gonna turn the chair so we've got the seat of the chair facing us, and we can do downward dog. Let's start with our squats. Hands are on the chair. We kind of walk backwards, but I want you to get your feet out. So your toes are out and you're bending your knees in the direction of your toes. So that's how I am in this posture. I've got my feet out and I'm squatting. This will give you some ability to kind of move side to side, kind of be a little more fluid with this. And then we'll start stepping back. Now the feet are going to come more hips distance apart. The toes will straight point toward the chair. Downward dog. Arms are surrounding the ears. Again, an opportunity to straighten the legs. Straighten through the back of the knees. Push the heel down. Pull the femur bones, thigh bones back toward the wall behind you. And then just settle into your breath. Exhale completely and do one more breath. Start walking yourself to the chair when you're ready. I want you to bend your knees and round your back body, drop your chin to your chest. Release the chair and just come up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. All the way back up to your mountain. Keep moving my chair, don't I? We're going to use it to support our tree pose, our balance pose. So standing leg is near the chair. And shift your weight into that leg, into the standing leg, so that becomes your tree's root, your tree's trunk. I want you to be very mindful about this today, step by step. Feeling your breath, you're breathing into your tree. You might even be breathing from your tree. So it's like an exchange. The arms are the branches of the tree, so you can express them any way you want. And finding something to look at, and the screen is not a good choice. Don't be looking at the screen here. Find a focal point of yours. Bring yourself into your space entirely. You're rotating your knee away from the midline. So the standing leg, of course, is just holding you up, but the other knee should be rotated away from the midline. Simmer that breath down and hold the pose with as many breaths as you can do. Sometimes it feels like there's a wind, doesn't it? Your tree is blowing in the wind because you start to move. That's okay. It's just natural. Come out with just as much mindfulness as you came into it, like step by step, feeling the unraveling of that posture. And then I want you to reset your body, shake your legs out. Maybe your head needs to move around. Remember, you don't need to watch this on the screen. So you're just setting up on your other side, letting the other leg now become the root. Let's start with rooting. And then it becomes the tree's trunk. Then you're able to rest the other leg into that tree trunk. The knee rotates away from the midline. You find a focal point, a drishti. You soften your mouth, you relax your face, and you find the fullness of your breath. As many breaths as you can. Come out with as much mindfulness as you came in. And again, shake your legs, shake your limbs. You just step away from your chair, give yourself plenty of room away from the chair and a wider stance. And I want you to just flow. As I brought up the idea of the wind, it kind of seems in keeping with our breath awareness today. I want you to just flow with the wind here, this imaginary wind, and let your arms just feel fluid and free. And there's going to be a buoyancy about your knees and legs. You're not rock hard. You're just finding buoyancy and movement. Hips are swaying. You can't do this wrong. You're just flowing. Deepening the breath, feeling the fullness and the expand, like you're trying to fill up your whole room with your breath. It's just like it's massive. This whole space around you, that's you. Even, that your arms decide that's enough of that. I'm feeling massive. It feels free. There's all kinds of movement available. And then start slowing yourself down and bringing yourself back to stillness. Let's step our feet closer together. Inhale up. Exhale, heart. Inhale up. And exhale, go wide. Let's sit into our chair now for Shavasana. Use the chair, sit back into it. Your legs can just fall away from one another any way that they feel comfortable. And you don't have to be on your chair. You could be sitting on your couch or laying down, whatever you have available. So you feel very relaxed, very well supported. Oh, big talker. I was going to do the lion breath and I forgot. I'll save that for Thursday. Sorry, folks. Just relax. Feel kind of a heaviness about your body, but a lightness of spirit and lightness of being. Both. Our last breath practice is the circle of breath. And it's just a matter of being aware that there's no pause in between the inhale and the exhale. And let's start with the soles of our feet as our connecting points. Once again, I'm choosing the feet and the crown of the head. You could choose something different. So that inhale comes up through the front of your body, ascends to the crown of the head, and immediately turns into the exhale and rolls down the back of your body back to the soles of your feet. It's a circle of breath. You'll start to feel that. That image will just sort of start being embodied within you. No pause. It just melts from one to the other, from the inhale to the exhale, and back again to the inhale. A circle of breath. Front side of the body for that inhale, the back body as you exhale back to the feet. Focused mind. There's a poem entitled Breath. Today I'm going to do the breath, and Thursday I'm going to do a different one that's related to the breath. Stay with your circle of breath for as long as it's interesting to you. If you've abandoned it, that's up to you. It's okay. Breath, the mindful breath, the rhythm out and in, the wave that washes through our days, creating space for stillness, sorrow, joy, or exaltation. Full, then empty, ebb and flow. Breath accompanies each step into the unknown. In the breath, the soul finds an opportunity to speak. Images or intuition, poetry or wordless wisdom come and go. No effort, but to breathe and listen. Soften the mouth. Let the chair hold you. I want you to imagine that I have my hands on your shoulders, and you can feel the weight of my hands now on your shoulders, allowing you to relax deeper, feel supported, connected. And I'll hold them there as long as you need me to. Let's take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale it out of your mouth with a sound of ah. Keep your eyes closed. 2 more breaths like that. In through the nose, out through the mouth with a sigh. Ah. As you flutter your eyes open, I want you to bring your hands to your shoulders, patting. I'm going to leave you now. So you're just kind of releasing that as we bring our palms together at the heart. We bow into ourselves. I want you to just hold that and notice your body-mind connection by way of the breath today, how you're feeling from the inside out. And just to remind us all about the word namaste and why we say it and what it means. Namaste is the light, love, and wisdom within me, honors and loves and respects the light, love, and wisdom in you. Namaste, my friends. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe to my
Thanks,
channel.
Julie.
Yeah, you're welcome, everyone.